In the wild, mysterious depths of Brittany, France, sits an old abandoned shack. Surrounded by ancient oaks and home to all manner of forest dwellers, it is here that we meet to share our stories. So pull up a seat, swing that light, grab your favourite beverage as we share another tantalising tale in the freaking shack.
Hi everybody, welcome to The Shack.
Yeah, and hopefully we're actually going to get decent audio this week because we have 3 different devices recording at the same time to try to make sure that we get decent audio for you in some capacity or another.
Because it was horrendous last week.
You've just spent hours on it, haven't you?
I have.
It's just crazy.
And nothing was going to improve it at all.
So we've done the best we can, and we will continue to do the best we can.
It's uploaded, so if you want to go and listen to a total shit audio, go and have a listen.
And hopefully we'll do better this week.
Something's got to do better. We are actually recording onto Audacity with a microphone. We are recording onto a voice recorder with what sort of phone? What's your phone?
I don't bloody know what the bloody thing is. It's a Motorola.
Oh, there you go. And
I'd like to tell you what model, but I honestly cannot remember.
I don't care. Don't care, really.
I'm sorry. I want to know how many of our listeners actually know what type of phone they have.
Yeah.
And I mean, if it's not an iPhone, if you know what model of iPhone or model of phone you have.
Yeah. And the other one that we're recording on is Riverside, an actual podcasting app on my phone, my iPhone. I do have an iPhone.
Do you know what kind it is?
13 or something. It's quite old.
Fair.
Yeah. So
I can never remember what mine are. Honestly, I go through so many phones because I hate iPhones, so I'm not doing that. And sorry, we're not sponsored by anybody.
we're not. If we were sponsored by somebody, we'd actually have some better equipment.
Yeah, we could probably do a bit better, but hey-ho, we're not.
We're
so
not.
On we move.
Yes.
But we've got some good stuff today. What's your beverage?
Oh, my beverage is wine. I needed wine.
I'm well up for it. It's actually quite a pokey wine.
It is. It's a very nice French red wine.
Yeah, it's a bottle called The Young Farm, and it's about 13.5%. So it's a bit pokey.
It is.
We'll take it easy, and hopefully we'll just have some fun with it.
We have only just started having sips, so
I don't know. I'm a glass ahead of you.
Are you? Okay. Well, you were waiting for me for a long time.
I was. It's fine.
Okay.
We are nothing if not up to a challenge.
We certainly are. Okay. This week we have spooky train stories.
Yeah, we're on a bit of a transport kick.
We are. We're for the
travel kick.
A travel kick. Yeah, we're not travelling anywhere particularly, but we are going to talk about sort of spooky travel, ghosties and things, ghost stories to do with travelling. So this week we are concentrating on trains.
Love it.
And railways and things like that,
which historically are known as quite dodgy places. So
yeah,
in history,
yeah, they could be quite spooky.
Yeah, I'm up for it.
Yeah.
Okay, what's first?
And then next week we've got some other sort of different travel things, as in different ways to travel.
Yeah, we're on the roads next week.
We are.
Yeah.
We're not necessarily just on roads.
Not necessarily just on roads, but I've got a few roady bits.
You've got some roady bits. I've got some...
If that's a word.
Probably is now. We've just made it a word. I've got some... I'm not going to say that word anymore.
Yeah. Or It's like, it's forbidden.
Yes. Totally.
Only because you're going to end up spending so long trying to edit out all of the ers and ums.
I know.
Only you've got to keep those ones in, otherwise the sentence won't make sense.
I know. I know. But we have got some, or we will have some extra spooky railways for next week.
Like it.
Because I want to gather some information about the underground in London.
Well, that's good because the stuff that I've got about roads is short and sweet.
Okay. And I've got a few things that sort of range from different haunted places, travel places in Europe. And I also have, I think I got an extra ghost train, so I might add that one to this one.
Okay, I like it.
But they're sort of from all over the place. They're not necessarily from France.
Okay.
So we're spreading our wings.
Well, we went round the world
We did.
with our New Year episode.
We
so
did.
I think we can afford to kind of branch out a little bit into some other places.
We can.
Other places are just as interesting as here.
Yeah, the awful audio was all about France last week. Yeah. We didn't do it a lot of justice, really, with the audio, but hey-ho. We did it. And it's up there, and you can go and see how bad it is. Give us marks out of 2.
I'm not sure we're going to get much over that.
No,
honestly, but
the beginning and the end are okay.
Well,
and
that's-
including my little apology at the beginning.
even that sounds better than the
But
audio for the actual episode.
That sounds wonderful. If the whole audio was like that, I'd be chuffed to bits.
But it's not.
It's not.
This
No.
one might be. You never know. This one might be really good.
We have a chance for it to be really good.
We're trying to give it its best chance as we can. Oh, my life.
Let's see.
Anyway.
Right. So we're looking at trains. Spooky trains. Have you ever been on a spooky train?
Well, I've been on trains. I can't honestly say I've ever found anything particularly spooky, train or not. I suppose I've been on some spooky roads, like when I've been driving and this is a bit of a, you know, it's dark and creepy and
it's
I wouldn't like to
misty.
break down here.
Misty and
Yeah.
murky.
Yeah, and sometimes it can be a bit like that. But yeah, I don't think I've ever really had a spooky experience on a train.
No, I don't. Well, we'll wait until the story comes at the end of the episode,
Okay,
and because it's a story you have never heard before.
all right, I'm up for it.
So I'm saying no more about spooky things on trains until I get to the story.
Okay, so what's first then?
So what's first? I need a bright light because when I printed out my notes, they came out so tiny that a mouse cannot read them. The first train that I have is the ghost train of Silver City.
Okay, where is Silver City?
It is in Canada.
Oh,
And the legend speaks of a ghost train that appears on the tracks near Silver City in Manitoba. It is said to be a spectral locomotive with glowing lights and the sound of a distant whistle. That's scary, isn't it?
I want to know. Wait, does it appear on the tracks as like a train coming towards you? Are you on the? Do you know what I mean? Is it like
Yeah.
people driving the train that
I
see
don't-
this thing, or is
I
it
don't
on
know.
the platforms
Yeah.
that see this train?
I don't know if they see it. Oh, they must see it if they know the glowing lights. So it must be something that's seen. But it says some believe it to be the spirit of a train that crashed long ago. Whoa. There you go.
How do they know? Well, I suppose they you know, train spotters, inform me, please.
Yes.
How would you know that it was an old train that crashed? There's got to be a, you know, something that sets it apart from all the others.
Yeah.
A number or a.
And I wonder if anybody that ever listens to this has ever seen or heard this train, the ghost train of Silver City. We might have to find out more about that, delve into that a little deep.
I'm connected with a couple of people in Canada.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we might be able to drop a message over and
Why
see if
not?
they've ever heard it
Why not?
or seen it or any of the above.
Okay. Well, the next train is the...
Arriving at platform 9 3/4.
I was going to talk about that train, actually.
Were you?
I was going to say, I tried to get pictures for social media, and I asked for AI to do us a picture, because I can't always get a picture of what I exactly
Actually
want. So I have got a little AI program where I ask for pictures in certain ways. I don't always get what I ask for. Oh, dear.
Be a bit hit and miss
Yeah,
sometimes.
I got a bit cross with AI the other day, and AI said, "That's it, I'm not doing any more." So I have to be kind to him now.
that's funny.
He just said, "No, I'm sorry, but I can't do what you're asking me to do."
Well, clearly not.
I was like, "Right, fine, okay then."
Then what use are you?
And I was asking for, I wanted a picture of a single carriage in an old British train,
Right.
like the Hogwarts Express. That's exactly what I put on.
Did you want like the inside of it, or was it like the outside?
No, the inside, the inside of the train, looking at or being inside the single carriage on an old British train, similar to the Hogwarts Express.
Right.
It is not what I got.
Oh dear.
I got a good American sort of train with a single carriage, but it was the whole carriage. It was like,
I was like all the seats.
it was, it was all the seats, and it was like the old-fashioned, like American style seats. It definitely wasn't a British train.
Oh dear.
And I tried a few times, and in the end I said a single carriage for 6. And then I got a train at the station with seats on the outside of the train.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Windswept and interesting is the look I think we're going for.
Yeah, it would have been a good roller coaster ride.
Could you imagine? These things go so fast.
You're sitting on the outside, facing all the bushes and trees.
Oh no, thank you. No,
No.
I think I'd rather get.
It was like, whoa! I have never seen a train like that before. I was like, yeah, it's time to stop. Yeah, thanks.
Thanks. I think you've taken me as far as we can go.
Yeah, thanks, AI. I've done it now. I've had it. So the next train is, oh right, this one is the Phantom of the St. Louis Union Station.
So this is a phantom that appears on the station,
I think so.
on the platform.
The further I read, it might tell us. This tale is from St. Louis in Missouri, and it tells of a ghostly figure who roams the Union Station. The station, once bustling with travellers, is now said to be haunted by the spirit of a man who met a tragic end there. Visitors have reported seeing his apparition and hearing unexplained footsteps.
Ooh.
There you go.
I always get really frustrated when they say things like met a tragic end. How?
Yeah.
What happened, please?
Yes.
Did this involve somebody else? Are,
Did it-
are we now on the lookout for some kind of criminal? Did you fall to your death? Did you accidentally eat a poison jam sandwich and drop dead?
He fell between the gap.
I didn't mind the gap. Gotcha.
Didn't mind the gap.
I just think that, met a tragic end. Well, how? What? That's such a cop-out.
I need more.
I need more.
We need more information.
Yeah.
So we're either going to find some out, or if anyone is listening who knows anything about St. Louis Union Station, please let us know.
Yeah, what happened to him?
Would be amazing.
I mean, he's
What
still
was
roaming
his-
around.
He's obviously still roaming around.
Didn't lose a leg or anything.
Maybe not. He could be hopping.
Could be.
I suppose there wouldn't be footsteps.
It wouldn't be footsteps then. There'd just be clunk, clunk, clunk. As he kind of jumps.
a foot. Just a foot hop.
I'll hop along. Yeah. Not footsteps.
Not footsteps.
as such.
Okay. The next one is the the legend of the Banshee train.
The Banshee train. So what, just a train that screams. I think they all do that from time
They
to time,
do.
don't
Are the old ones?
Yeah.
With the whistle, where the whistle goes like that.
Is that's a very good impression. I like it. Can you do it again? Brilliant. Oh, fun.
I need more wine. Right. The legend of the Banshee train. And we did do a story of the Banshee
We did.
on our run up to Christmas. It's in Ireland. There is a story of a ghostly train known as the Banshee train. It is believed that hearing its eerie whistle forewarns of impending disaster. The train is said to travel silently through the countryside, appearing out of nowhere and disappearing just as mysteriously.
I mean, is it possible that you only hear the whistle, with its whole sort of, you only hear it when it's about to flatten you, potentially?
I don't know. You could be walking along the railway track, and it says what's it say here? It is believed that hearing the eerie whistle forewarns of impending danger. The train is said to travel silently through the countryside.
So it travels silently until it blows its horn because you're in the way and it's about to flatten you. So it would be a mark of kind of impending doom.
It would be then.
Because it goes, get out the way! And that's where you go, kaboom.
Splat.
Yeah, impending doom. I would say a train whistle is probably a bad thing to ignore. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, get off the track.
Yes. Yeah, if you're not on the tracks, it moves silently through the... Yes.
I have a story that I need to keep anonymous about a train. Remind me in a minute.
Okay. I'll try.
The disappearing train of New Orleans.
I hope no one's on it when it disappears.
I don't know. In New Orleans, in Louisiana, there is a chilling story of a train that vanished into thin air. According to legend, the train was travelling along the tracks when it was struck by a sudden thick fog. Witnesses claim that the train and its passengers were never seen again.
Oh, people were on it?
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
I've just got it in my head. It's like one of those magicians things, where they do the big poof and then, and then quote unquote disappear. Somebody just did that with a train.
Yeah.
It was not a fog. It was just a, I don't know. Don't take the piss, Steph.
Well, perhaps someone just had a time turner on the train.
Yeah. That was it. Yeah. It was just time looped and it had
time looped
to wherever it went. Yeah.
You never know. But I wonder who was on it.
Yeah.
Who was on it that is now missed?
And who missed the train and is now chuffed about it? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Who didn't get on that train because of whatever reason?
Yeah. Because of the thick fog.
Yeah. Got lost. Arrived at the platform late. Just in time to see the train leaving.
And then
frustrated to no end.
Yeah.
And then heard about that no one was ever heard from.
And then heard that the train never arrived.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where it was supposed to go.
Yeah, you'd feel a bit relieved then, wouldn't you?
You would.
You'd give yourself a mince pie and a cup of tea and be quite chuffed, wouldn't you?
A mince pie.
I don't know why a mince pie comes into that. I don't know.
A mince pie and a cup of tea would be really nice, but I doubt if they did that in San Antonio.
Oh. Just big.
Or is it? Oh no, New Orleans. New Orleans, it would not be a mince pie.
It would not be a mince pie, no. Nice bit of cake. Be fine.
Yeah. New Orleans cake. I don't know what they eat. What do they eat there? Spicy food, isn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think there's probably a bit of a Cajun, possibly.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Kind of influence, which is always a good thing. Never a bad thing.
Oh, we don't mind a bit of Cajun. The haunted tracks of Sant Antonio. Have I already talked about this?
I think so.
Oh no,
but San Antonio isn't usually Texas.
No, I have not talked about this.
Where are you? Go for it.
The haunted tracks of Sant Antonio is one of the more famous urban legends, and it involves the ghost of children of Sant Antonio in Texas.
See,
you're absolutely right. According to the story, a school bus filled with children stalled on the train tracks.
Oh, I've heard about this one.
And was tragically hit by a train. Today it is said if you park your car on the tracks, the spirits of the children will push your vehicle to safety. People often sprinkle baby powder on their car's back bumper and swear that they see tiny handprints afterwards.
Oh, how could you not give that a go? That would be so cool. And how would you debunk that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I suppose if you've got your own kids to push you off.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you were trying to, you know, if you were watching somebody do that and there were little handprints on it,
Yeah.
what would you like?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's very weird. A little creepy, but very cool.
But very cool. There you go. Right.
What do the kids do the rest of the time?
Just play.
Just hang out
Yeah, just
on the railway.
on the railway
Always,
track.
always smart, you know.
Yeah.
Just in case someone happens to break down on the railway line.
Absolutely. This one is the Black Train of Flanders. In Belgium, the legend of the Black Train tells of a train that appeared out of nowhere, shrouded in black smoke. Was it called the Pearl?
Yeah, it's the Black Pearl.
Pearl. It is said to be a harbinger of doom, and anyone who sees it is warned of impending disaster. The train is linked to tales of a cursed engineer who made a deal with the devil.
What was the deal?
I have no idea.
Again, I feel like I need more information, people. These ghost stories are cryptic. What did he promise? What did he get?
Perhaps he got to ride trains forever.
Well, it sounds like that's what he got by accident.
Yeah.
It sounds like that was the booby prize.
It was.
He probably didn't intend for that one. It's kind of like the genie thing, you know?
Yeah.
And when you make a wish with a genie, and then they say, well, you know, it usually works. It usually works. You get your wish, but you get it in a really weird way. So, like, for instance, like you'll wish for a car, and then like someone in your family will die, and you'll inherit the car.
Yeah.
And it's the whole thing around, kind of be careful what you wish for, kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, I wonder what deal did he make, and how did it go wrong?
Something went pretty wrong. This one is called The Legend of the Blue Train. In the UK, there is a spooky tale of the Blue Train that haunts the tracks of the London Underground. Now, we're going to go further into these.
We're going to do a bit of a deep dive into the London Underground.
Into the London Underground, because I know that there are lots of spooky stories from down there, not just linked with the Underground, but linked with all sorts of things, for like when the Underground was being used as a shelter.
I was going to say as a shelter.
But for other things as well. There's people, engineers that died. Engineers, yeah, that died. I'm from London.
I was going to say engineers.
Engineers. It's like an engine.
It's like chimneys.
It's like chimney. It's not chimney. That's far too posh.
It's got to learn it.
It's got to learn it. Chimney.
It's not a chimney.
It's like my grandma. My grandma never said bed. It was always bed.
Bed.
I'm going to bed.
Oh, I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was never laundrette. It was laundriette.
Laundriette.
I'm going down the laundriette, she used to say. In fact, she worked down there for a while. Still called it the laundriette.
It's kind of like library.
Yeah.
And it's library.
Yeah,
It's library.
February, isn't it?
It is a bit.
February.
Yeah, it's a weird word.
too
We do
many-
say February.
Too many r's.
Yeah. Yeah, library, not library.
Library. Library.
Yeah. Yeah, see? Honestly, it's terrible. It's just terrible. As a dyslexic trying to spell these words, it was a nightmare.
Yeah. So the legend of the Blue Train. It's a spooky tale of the Blue Train that haunts the tracks of the London Underground. It is said to be an old forgotten train that appears late at night. It transports lost souls. Commuters who have encountered the ghostly train claim to feel an eerie chill as it passes by. You know who's on that train, don't you?
I'd love to have something to say right now.
Or who got on a train and came back from the dead?
Oh, it was Harry and Dumbledore.
It
And
was.
that whole thing on the platform. But Harry obviously came back and
Dumbledore didn't.
Dumbledore didn't.
Yeah. So
That was the train, obviously.
it was.
We didn't actually see it in the movie.
No.
at all, but
No. But it must have been that blue train.
there you go.
But he wasn't lost anymore.
No, he came back.
He came back.
But I suppose maybe he was on it in the first place.
Perhaps they dropped him off.
Yeah.
He caught the blue train.
He didn't have a ticket. That was the problem.
Was it?
Yeah. No ticket. Booted him off and went, you need to get the other one back again, mate. Because
Get yourself a ticket. There we go. Right. So we've got. Oh, I've got one in France, and it's called the Red Cross, or the Croix Rouge. Croix Rouge. Station. This abandoned station on the Paris metro is said to be haunted by the ghost of a young woman who died there in the early 1930s. Doesn't tell you any more about it.
How did she die? Well, we were assuming a train accident or something.
Well, there was a link, but I hadn't gone on the link. So some of these we are going to take hold of the stories and delve a little deeper.
We like it. Okay, I'm up for that.
Unless any of our listeners can tell us any more about it.
I like that thinking.
Now, we are at around about nearly half an hour, and I reckon we'll do this one about half an hour. Shall we do the story?
Do the story.
Shall I do my story?
Yeah, I think you should.
And I think we're going to delve into a few more of these over the next few weeks.
It sounds like a good idea. I think we do need to sort of do a bit of a theme for the next couple.
Yeah, travel sounds like a good theme.
Yeah.
Anybody who's had a spooky something happen while they've been travelling,
Yeah.
please tell me. I have a wonderful.
There's got to be some fairy stories.
There's got to be fairy stories,
Boating.
yeah.
I'll see if I can find out anything about the fishermen in Cornwall.
Okay, well, I have a fantastic story to tell next week that comes from Dad.
Oh, okay. My dad.
Yeah.
Not like, your
Not my dad. If it came from my dad, it would be a real spooky story. He'd be laughing now. Okay, right. I'm going to do this story. Now, Stephanie has not ever heard this story. She knows nothing about this story. So it's all going to be new.
It is.
And it is all written here on paper. She says,
We'll cut that
sponging it up. Yeah, I'll cut the paper out. I'll be glad when I'm onto the better words.
Bigger font.
Okay. The story is called, and if any of my friends are listening, I have changed your names, but they will know what the story is as soon as I tell them the title.
Okay.
The title of the story is Woe Is Me. Once upon a chilly autumn evening. Oh, swing that light.
Oh, swing that light. Dink. There it goes.
It's swinging. I'll start again.
Yeah.
Once upon a chilly autumn evening, in the seaside town of Newquay in Cornwall, a group of teenage girls, Ailey, Judy, Molly and Carol, decided to gather for a night of spooky fun. They huddled together in Carol's dimly lit attic bedroom, nervously giggling as they brought out an ancient-looking Ouija board. The air was thick with the scent of melting candles and the creaks and rustling whispers of the old house. After several failed attempts to connect with any spirits, the planchette finally began to move on its own. They spelled out the name W-O-E, Woe, and a chilling shiver ran down their spines. Intrigued, yet terrified, they continued to communicate with the spirit. Woe's messages were cryptic and played on the minds of the impressionable teenagers, often filled with sorrow and always concluding with the phrase, "Woe is me." Unnerved but not wanting to admit their fear, the girls wrapped up their session and agreed to never speak of it again. However, they soon discovered that whenever anyone mentioned the phrase, "woe is me," strange and eerie things began to happen. Flickering lights, things going wrong, strange phone calls, and alarms going off unexpectedly, quiet whispers, strange noises, and sudden drops in temperature were just a few. The girls were fearful, but also seemed to enjoy the thrill of these strange, unexpected events, and often tried to brush them off as mere coincidences. These eerie happenings continued for many months, and seemed to increase in intensity when the girls were together, at school, sleepovers, and days out. One Saturday in October, the girls decided to take a train ride to Plymouth for the day. A day of shopping and fun. Many hours later, with loads of bags, chatter and laughter, they boarded the train to return home. Coincidentally, a couple of other girls from their school were also on the same train. They joined forces with our intrepid four and settled into a 6-seater compartment, very similar to the compartment on the Hogwarts Express. It was evening and the sky grew darker, and it seemed that an ominous atmosphere began to fill the compartment as they began reminiscing about their spooky Ouija sessions. The four telling the other two all about what had happened and what seemed to continue to happen. Trying hard to explain what it was that seemed to trigger these very unusual events, the two other girls were intrigued and began encouraging the four to tell them more, almost daring them to make something happen. So it was inevitable that eventually the fateful phrase was referred to. Something always seems to happen when one of us says, "Woe is me." Almost immediately, the train screeched to a halt and the lights went out. Plunging the compartment and the corridor outside into darkness. The only sound was the haunting wind and rain that had not been noticeable before, but now howled outside the window. The girls clutched each other, their hearts pounding in unison. They could hear compartment doors opening and distant voices and whispers echoing through the train. The air began to feel thick inside the compartment, and a sudden chill enveloped them. The whispers seemed to be closer and grow louder. A couple of the girls physically shivered. Our four immediately having recognition of Woe's spirit presence. They knew they had to find a way to break the connection with Woe and end this terrifying phenomenon.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah. Naturally, and without too much thought, they quickly formed a circle and joined their hands. Ailey was trembling all over, but suggested that they use their combined energy to guide Woe's spirit away from them and towards the light and to peace. Together, they closed their eyes as Ailey whispered, and the others echoing her words, "Woe, we release you. Look for the light. A light far greater than ours. There you will find peace, and you will find those that love you. Woe, just follow the light, and you will find true happiness." Woe, you must leave us now and not return. Go, step into the light. The girls finished by saying the Lord's Prayer, as it was the only prayer they actually knew. As soon as they'd finished, the air immediately began to grow warmer, and the thick atmosphere dissipated. They opened their eyes and looked at each other with hopeful anticipation. Suddenly, the lights flickered back on, and slowly the train resumed its journey, gradually picking up speed as if nothing had ever happened. Relieved but truly shaken, the girls vowed to never meddle with the Ouija board again. They knew that they had narrowly escaped a lingering presence, and the memory of that eerie night would forever live in their minds. Inevitably, the teenagers became adults, and as the years passed, they continued their life's journey. The faint echo of woe's sorrowful cry, a long-distant memory, and an unnerving reminder of the risks and uncertainty that lie just beyond the veil. But with all said and done, it didn't quite stop one of the now grandmothers from a life of studying, practicing, growing and discovering a much deeper, more personal and spiritual understanding. And then, of course, wanting to discuss and share some of those fascinating experiences and stories to an eager, enthusiastic, interested and open-minded audience by creating a podcast called The Freaking Shack.
I love it. Oh, brilliant. I feel like I need more wine. My word.
Definitely more wine. I have never told that story to anybody.
Oh, and you've done... Okay, not live. I nearly said you'd done it live. Well, you did with me.
I did with you,
Yeah.
because I hadn't told you that story before. I haven't told anybody that story before.
How weird. I think I might have weed a little bit if the train came to a stop and all the lights went out and I was just like, you know, like Dementors?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But you said it got like thick, not cold.
Yeah.
So, you know.
But it was like thick. It was like, yeah, it was like a weird atmosphere, but freezing.
Oh, so it was cold.
It was definitely cold. That's why you shivered. But when I saw the film and read the book, I was like...
All the little alarm bells are going on.
They were. Because they was like, when Ron put his hand up against the window and it went like cold.
Yeah.
And he could see the coldness on the outside, and I was like, oh my God. Oh my goodness me.
Do you know, when you've had an experience like that and then you get to see in like a film or something like that, like a live kind of representation of
Yeah.
I think it's got to send a little alarm bells off, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. But some of the things that used to happen were amazing. We would sometimes do it purposely so that something would happen at school, so we'd be out of lessons. And the amount of times
Oh my
the amount of times fire alarms went off, and then we were all outside doing fire drill.
I can't help but think that using another entities for your own means is a bit mean, really.
I think it was I mean, we used to have silly grins on our faces. It was so nothing that happened to us was scary.
Yeah.
No, not at any time, but things would happen.
Weird. Very weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is so very cool.
Yeah. Power cuts, lights going,
I think
flickering.
most school children would be chuffed to have a spirit on their side.
It was a bit like that, actually.
Yeah.
But it did get to a stage in the end where you were just like, no, this can't possibly go on any longer.
Yeah.
We do have to do something about it.
Weird.
But there you go.
Weird.
That is my little story. Or one of many.
One of many. And hopefully we'll get to hear a few more. Because I've got none.
No,
Not really.
we're gonna have to get Lauren in.
Well, I have to get Lauren in because I'm sure Lauren's a lot more perceptive than me.
Lauren is my niece,
My cousin.
Steph's cousin, and she grew up in the house that my grandmother, the one who is called the witch, the old witch, Lauren grew up in her house after they bought it after, in fact, they bought it off my uncle because he inherited the house. So it went to Brenna. Brenna bought it, and the children were brought up in there. And Lauren has lots of little stories.
I'm not surprised.
And so does Kerry. Kerry does too.
Are they both going to come on?
Yeah, I'd love them both to come on. I think that would be amazing.
That would be very cool. That would
Yeah.
be very, very cool.
We have spoken about it before. but-
Especially because I used to look after them when their mum was on the night shifts.
Yeah,
And I would go over and babysit.
because you were that little bit older than them. weren't you?
Yeah. So I used to look after them when they were on their own. Obviously not on their own in the house, but I used to go over there. So they weren't on their own in the house.
Yeah.
And yeah, I suppose there was things that happened in the house, but I'm not very perceptive. I'm really not. It could have been my great grandma trying to, make contact or whatever it was.
Oh, you're a bit hermy,
Yeah.
aren't you?
Yeah. But I honestly couldn't tell you because I didn't really pay that much attention. Things were weird. Weird things happened. Noises happened.
Yeah.
And I went, meh.
Yeah,
There was a shrug in there for those of you that couldn't see me.
yeah.
Meh.
And
with a shrug.
during that time, of course, they lost their dad.
Yeah.
Their dad died as well.
Yeah.
So, which was very sad. Anyway, I think we're pouring another drink.
I am.
I think
I'm
we're
hoping
going.
it won't come over the audio.
I don't care whether the drink comes over the audio or not. It won't stay there because when it's enhanced, it will disappear.
It would be considered background noise. It was fine.
Yeah. So I think what we're going to do is tie this one up.
Yep.
And
a bow.
Yes, with a bow.
Yeah.
And then we're going to record the following week's one straight away.
Yep. Let's batch record and then we've got a buffer.
We have.
Should we have to have a week off, we can have a week off and not let our listeners suffer. Because obviously you're going to be listening to us every week with,
Of course.
we'd hate for you to be waiting for us. I don't think anyone's listening. Oh, it'll be fine.
Somebody did. There's 5 downloads.
Was there?
Only a day or so ago.
And only one of them was me.
Yeah, and one of them was me.
So someone's listening. Oh, brilliant.
Oh, well.
If you are listening, please reach out to us on our social media because we'd love to know what you think. At least I think we do. I might regret saying that.
Do not comment on last week's audio. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
You do not need to. We already know that it's shit. And I will put this down as explicit.
We'll have to now.
Yeah.
I think I
think
Ice earlier.
I think that's fine. We are an adults only channel.
Yeah, it's fine.
We're allowed it as well after the
day that you've had of editing and,
yes.
and tech issues,
tech issues,
which have been rife.
Trying to take noises off and get rid of echoes and...
It's the paranormal. I'm telling you.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that what's doing it?
That's what's doing it because it's not in this room. We do not get those funky sounds.
I reckon it's woe, to be honest.
She's back.
Yeah. It's a he.
Oh, it's a he. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's most definitely a he.
I had it in my head that it was a
No,
feminine.
no, it is a he.
Oh, fair. Is that, should we say it in the way that Fudge says it then in the movie where he goes, he's back?
No.
Ah, no, okay.
No.
It's not Voldemort. No.
He is not back. He's quite happy on the other side. So, with that, cheers, everybody. Can we do a ching again?
We'll do a ching. We've got the nice glasses again. Here we go.
That was quite amazing.
It's quite good.
Wow. Looks fantastic on the audio.
Very interesting shape.
Looks like two glasses, actually.
It actually does.
On their side.
With that being said, keep your minds open and your lamps lit. We will see you all again back at the freaking shack.
Bye, everybody.
Cheers.
Find us on all our social medias. Email fshack03@gmail.com. TikTok @the.freaking.shack. Instagram @the_freaking_shack. And Facebook is the-freaking-shack. All those freakings are without a G. And our little web page is at fshack03.podbean.com. We look forward to hearing from you.